And we're live. Whatever. Maybe we're live. I don't know. I never know these things. But welcome back to Your List Sucks. This is actually a very interesting topic. This is Disney songs, and this was actually picked by fellow admin, fellow friend, fellow teammate, Cain the Hurricane McMillan. Cain is leaving for a internship to college, and basically messaged me and said, hey, I want to be on one more episode of Your List Sucks before I leave. And I told him, you pick the panel, you pick the topic, and we'll do it. So, Cain, kind of tell me why you picked this and the panel you did.
Well, the internship I'm doing is Disney, and I think arguably Disney is one of the best movies, but I think on top of that, they have some of the best songs, which is why I decided let's just take the best Disney songs and compile like our best like top 10, and then on top of it, like just to see what the overall Your List Sucks top 10 is. And I figured grab the very big music guy, Brooklyn Vail, even though he hasn't seen a lot of Disney movies, and the guy's probably seen a lot of Disney movies, is in the Forks, and I believe it's the 432nd best rap group in North Dakota. So something like that.
Minnesota.
That's what we're talking about. This is like one of those episodes that Your List Sucks I hate being the host of, because I would love to be on the panel, because this is like a topic that I love truly. But that's a difference. He kind of introduced him a little bit before. I'm going to go to Kaleb first. Kaleb, you've been on a couple episodes. You've actually hosted for me. You're the only one in the community that's hosted for me, so I appreciate that. Was this list easy? Was this list hard? What did you think?
I was pretty precise and quick when making my list. I took my time to like listen to the ones that I knew I needed to revisit. But I had a good idea of what was going to make the list and what wasn't going to make the list from the jump. There's just some movies that I don't connect to the music on. There's some movies that I connect to the music more than the movie. And there's some movies that I just think are perfect in both story and music. And all of them coming together, that's just kind of what made this list. There's one that I made my list that actually surprised even me. So
awesome. And Brooklyn, you are the music guy, known to not have seen all the Disney movies, but that doesn't take away that you have probably the best ear for music in this community. So was this list easy? Was this list hard? And how did you tackle this list?
Top 5 were pretty set in stone. It's the bottom 5 where I sort of played out with it. Songs that I thought were going to be higher actually ended up being lower. And I just sort of looked at it as of like what's the general basis of the song? What risks are they taking? Are they going for a simple method and hitting the end of the park? But I think this is I think all 3 lists will be good on the list.
Awesome. And I'm going to go to Cain real quick. Was this list easy or hard for you to come up with, since it was kind of your topic?
It was very hard. Disney has so many good songs, and there's so many notable omissions. Like, it's hard to narrow down the top 10 best, especially because we're not doing like one movie. We're like, you can have multiple from a single movie, which makes it even harder because literally there are movies where you can pick 5 songs in your top 10 and it's acceptable.
Yeah, 100%. So how Your List Sucks, basically I bring 3 people on the panel. They give me their personal top 10 list in private, and I compile the list between the 3 of them. They break down their personal top 10 while getting roasted by the panel and myself, and to see if their list actually truly does suck. I will let them know at the end of the show if it was good, bad, or pretty much ugly. Sorry, Chris Dolman. So basically for this first one, it's going to go with your bottom 3. Bring it up shortly. So say, if you have the X, say it this way, the next one. Wait for somebody to say if they have it. If you have it, it's a yikes, and we wait and move up the panel. So we're going to start with the king himself, Kaleb Koho. Tell me what your 10, 9, 8 is.
my number 10 is Colors of the Wind from Pocahontas.
Anybody?
Nope. Cool. My number 9 is The Bundle of Heaven's Light and Hellfire from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Cool.
Nope. Okay.
And my 8 is Friends on the Other Side from The Princess and the Frog.
Okay. So you have the floor. Tell me why these made your list.
Colors of the Wind is the one that surprised me by making it on, because I listened to it again specifically for this list. And it's actually a really moving ballad. It's unfortunately from a movie that I don't love and don't care to go back to. But the song itself is really powerful, and one of like kind of the more like metaphorical, like lyrical, really brilliant ones with like the imagery it evokes. This is the one that I kind of have to argue a lot for is Heaven's Light and Hellfire, because you can't take one without the other, and I think it would be wrong to take one without the other, because Heaven's Light is the first minute and 41 seconds of the actual entire piece, and Heaven's Light gives you that hero's contrast of this hideous dude that has always thought he deserves to go to hell, but finds love in the face of Esmeralda, and that's his Heaven's Light. And then the immediate contrast that comes with Frollo, who takes that pure form of love from Heaven's Light and corrupts it into a disgusting sort of lust with Hellfire, where he wants the same woman, but it's dark and it's disgusting and it's creepy because he's like 78,000 years old and Esmeralda's like 20-something. So I think those two contrast each other in a way that you need them together. And then 8 is Friends on the Other Side, which I think is probably my personal favorite villain song of all time, just because it's so different. It's so different from every other villain song in the sense of in the music, in the musicality, and the vibe it brings. It brings that Bayou voodoo vibe, and I really enjoy it because it's that sort of I got friends on the other side. And knowing I have baritone bass friends, they love having a song that's creepy like that to sing that stands out. So yeah, I really enjoy listening to that one. That's one of my go-tos for Halloween.
Yeah, so a few things to take it. Colors of the Wind is one of those songs, pretty much song is like, stands way above the movie. The movie is trash. The song is brilliant. So it's always hard for me because Colors of the Wind I like, but then I'm only like, oh, it's attached to Pocahontas, and I basically just listen to the clip. I don't ever watch the movie, so that's always a rough badge on that one. Hellfire in that one, I think it's really rough. Hellfire, I think Bells of Notre Dame are better from that movie. That's just personal on that one. I think Hellfire is brilliant. I think everything the villain does in that movie is genius. I just think Quasimodo is terrible. Like throughout the movie, I just think it's bad. And all that movie teaches you is it's okay to be friend zoned. At least you have friends that you can talk to after you get friend zoned, because nothing good happens to him besides he's not damned for hell. And Friends on the Other Side, I have to 100% disagree with you and say it's the best thing. You're right, it does have a Bayou and New Orleans feel to it. But if you put that in any other movie, it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense because no other movie's set in the Bayou. So is there a saxophone in it? I'm not sure. But we'll get back to that. Cain and Brooklyn, these 3 songs, why do they miss your list? Do you think Caleb's crazy for having them on your personal top 10? Kind of give your feedback, whoever wants to start.
I think Colors of the Wind is definitely a song that could definitely be on a list, and you can't like say, yeah, that doesn't belong there. No, because it's a fantastic song, but kind of like what you said, it's kind of attached to a mediocre movie, especially in the Renaissance era where they're just hitting it out of the park constantly. So it's a great song, and it's just, I don't know. It's just, I think there's better songs out there. And then the other 2 kind of just surprised that he actually had those on there.
For Colors of the Wind, I would say it's a great chorus, but other than that, it's sort of meh. Friends on the Other Side, I totally understand why Caleb has it on it, because like whenever you watch that clip of this, for me it screams like if they ever did a live action version, Brendan Urie is the person that you would like sort of base that around, and you could see that in the character. So I totally understand why it's on his list. Song's good, but there's a lot better.
But best villain song? Is he nuts for saying that?
Nope.
A little bit.
Nope.
He's a little bit nuts because there's so many other. There's so many other ones that are better.
That's a rough choice on my end. Okay, so we got his for Cain. Hit us with your bottom 3.
My number 10 is "I Want to Be Like You" from The Jungle Book. My number 9. Does anyone have that?
It's number 11. It's number 11. It was on my list for about 2 seconds.
Okay. My number 9 is "Poor Unfortunate Souls."
Beautiful. Go ahead.
And then my number 8 is "How Far I'll Go."
That is a yikes.
Cool. That is a fucking yikes.
Okay. So, we'll talk about the bottom 2. Poor Unfortunate Souls and "I Want to Be Like You." Why do these songs resonate with you throughout Disney?
So, like, I was having a hard time making my list, and I figured my number 10 needs to be a straight personal choice from a film I really enjoy. And "I Want to Be Like You" is just it's a song ever since I was like growing up. I just really enjoyed. I love the jazz kind of swing to it, and then the little like trumpet solo that King Louis does for a little bit. And as someone who played the trumpet for 9 years, it's just something that I enjoyed. and it was like I like it. I think it's a better villain song than Friends on the Other Side personally. But I think, in my opinion, the best villain song is Poor Unfortunate Souls. I know you're gonna be like, be prepared, but I think this one is just phenomenally done with Ursula singing to Ariel, and it's just creepy and like you can tell, you just feel like evilness if in the song, and it's just, I don't know, I think it works.
Yeah. So, Want to Be Like You, I wouldn't maybe say it's my top 10, but it's literally in my top 15. I absolutely love the song. I think it's so much fun. I think like the scatting that they do in the thing, I would loved when I was a kid and I would just like go along with it because I think that's such an interesting style, especially in a Disney movie, especially putting it on in the 60s when like scatting was like huge, earlier. But like it was just brilliant to bring back, and I think King Louis is one of the most underrated. Like his motive of all Disney villain makes the most sense of everybody. He just he has to evolve and make a better plan, and they have something that's going to outline, and he needs it. So give it to him, and he's the one person. He kind of plays the mob boss, which I love that they actually incorporate in the live action. They take away the song a little bit.
I like Christopher Walken's like incarnation. Yeah. It's not bad.
But they make it more of like what he truly is like a mob boss. Now, here's my part of the deal. Like you're gonna like give me Man's Try. I love the speaking of the thing and like the animation to it when they start dancing and he's like dressed up like a monkey and it comes. It's brilliant. Poor Unfortunate Souls, great choice. I think I would have so many villain songs on this. To be honest, there's so many great villain songs in these movies. And I can't disagree. I think Poor Unfortunate Souls still serves on the list. I think Be Prepared is better, and I'll just let the cat out of the bag. No one has Be Prepared, which is kind of it's just kind of a much. Yeah, so that's a very interesting choice. But Poor Unfortunate Souls, like I love the speaking in it along with the singing because I think the news that just broke that Melissa McCarthy is in talks to play Ursula makes me almost throw up in my mouth because that's not Ursula. Ursula is like the closest to a man. Like it was inspired by a drag queen. So like her just like says like, they love the body language. Like she just gets it and goes like that and those singing notes. It's just beautiful. I think she's one of the most intimidating villains in Disney history, in movie history. So I love that Poor Unfortunate Souls. Guys, he picked 2 classic songs on here. I know one hates Little Mermaid, but please tell me why these 2 missed.
I Want to Be Like You is like, depending on the day that you ask me, could easily be my number 10. I love the scat, and I think for like the Jungle Book in general, when you're going for that overall jazz concept, I think scat is one you have to tackle, and they do it so well. It's just so laid back where it's like, all right, you got to turn. You get a turn. You get a turn. I think that's what scat is really about. It's just letting people shine. In terms of Poor Unfortunate Souls, I don't not the biggest fan of that song. Not the biggest fan of that movie. But I understand why.
Kaleb.
I don't connect to the Jungle Book like almost at all. It's just not a story for me. And I don't necessarily go back to the music or that movie a lot, so I guess that would explain why it doesn't make my list. Is because like I just don't go back to it a lot. Bare Necessities had the best shot of making the list, just because it's Bare Necessities and like that's a really well written song. But Poor Unfortunate Souls could have made my list. Little Mermaid's the movie where I like the music and I hate the movie, and like my thing with Poor Unfortunate Souls is it comes down, I guess, to personal preference. I think Poor Unfortunate Souls and Friends on the Other Side are very, very, very similar in like that vibe, just very different in execution. Like they give off the same sort of feeling to introduce the villain. I personally go for Dr. Facilier more than I go for Ursula as a villain, and that's completely just me. It's more of that kind of spiritual, creepy, like voodoo ghost thing, and I guess that's why I go for that more than Poor Unfortunate Souls. But I could totally understand Poor Unfortunate Souls.
There is definitely a notable omission from Little Mermaid, which we'll talk about later. But we're going to go to Brooklyn now. You're 10, 9.
Right. So, my number 10 is Arabian Nights from Aladdin.
Anybody?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Number 9 is Go the Distance from Hercules.
No.
Nope. All right.
And number 8 is I See the Light from Tangled.
That's a yikes.
All right, so you brought them to Arabian Nights, Go the Distance. Tell them why you made your list.
I think Arabian Nights does a really good job of setting the tone for like that initial sort of like first thing that's going to happen, like where they go into the cave and get the lamp. And I think it provides a good contrast of songs that are going to come that will come down the road. Your Friends Like Me, Your Whole New World, those very upbeat and sort of like heartwarming songs. I think it's a nice little contrast to that. Go the Distance, I think, is the best definition of when you think of like fanfare and like how that sort of pays off. Not so much in the reprise. The reprise sort of does the same thing to the end of like what the original does. But like when you add in those trumpets, I think the performance of Hercules himself is well. How they start off subtle, very low strings, and then it's just like it's sort of him getting that courage, and then it's like he's able to portray that through the song. And I think the vocal performance does a good example of that.
Yeah, Arabian Nights is a very interesting choice because I think there's very like I always struggle with Lion King and Aladdin for best Disney music, and it's really close to me. I just think Arabian Nights is the intro song, and it's great, and I think it's got great musical elements, which I think that's why you probably gravitate to it more. But like One Jump, other songs that we'll talk about later probably, those would be Go the Distance. This is actually a very interesting choice. I just rewatched Aladdin last night. Not Aladdin, Hercules last night, sorry. And I really thought Go the Distance was meh. And when I was a kid, I thought it was really, really good. Like, I loved it. I thought Meg's song in it and Zero to Hero and stuff like that are way stronger. A lot of people gravitate towards this one, and that's fine. I just don't get the hype anymore. And I think it's an upbeat song. And maybe Nico ruined it at some point. I think he had it as like an intro song or something. I don't know. But, or talked about it. So, yeah. Cain, Kaleb, why did these two at least miss your list? I know one's a huge Aladdin fan, so trying to touch on that.
Arabian Nights is a great song, but like it's just so hard to have like so many things. So of course there's gonna be notable missions. So yeah, Arabian Nights just missed my list. And then Go the Distance, I just think there's, like you said, a couple better songs from Hercules.
Yeah.
Yeah. I echo that. I think Go the Distance is a good song. It's just not the best from that movie. And I love Aladdin and I love Arabian Nights. It's just, to put it in the term that me and you, Brooklyn, will understand, it's like putting The End from the Black Parade at like number 1 for me. It's like saying the intro song is the best of the album. And it's not necessarily that for me. So I like it. It'd be an honorable mention, but I wouldn't put it on the top 10.
I do have a real issue with Arabian Nights and the new Aladdin. I will say that. If this were ranking that one, this would be in the bottom 100. But first one, good. I don't know if it makes a list, but that's fair. All right, Kaleb, start from 7, go all the way to 4, one at a time. Start talking about what you love. If you hear a yikes, stop.
So number 7 is Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid.
Fucking yikes. Go ahead.
I think this is one of, like, when it comes to use musical terminology, the I Want song is usually one of the best songs in a musical where someone, sings what they want and it sets up their motivation and whatever. I think this is probably the best song in The Little Mermaid for me. As a massive musical fan, I am a big fan of I Want songs, and I think Ariel's I Want song here, the Part of Your World, is really well done, and I get into it a lot. So, like, I think it's the most beautiful song from the movie. And I think it's one of the best songs in the pantheon of Disney, especially when it comes to the I Want song.
Yeah, we're going to have a huge issue with this one. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. Under the Sea and Kiss the Girl did not make either list. Wow. And Part of Your World and Poor Unfortunate Souls did. Poor Unfortunate Souls, 100%. Go through it, put it through. Part of Your World is so just, like, explaining the world and what she was lived, like how she lives, and she wants to be part of a different world. But, like, I think Sebastian doesn't get any credit at all, especially with this panel right here, about how brilliant his 2 songs are. Under the Sea, one, but, like, it's also it's insane of like the like musical elements, and like he breaks out into like the Jamaican vibe, like, and then Kiss the Girl is like he brings it back to it, like of like, here, listen to the instruments or whatever, like, you know, it's just, I think those two songs are like would be clear cut top 10 songs, and Part of Your World is just, I guess you want it. That's just I think a terrible choice. You guys, just a real quick blurb why Part of Your World missed your list.
You kind of just hit it on the head. There's 3 other songs for The Little Mermaid that are better than it.
Yeah. Treasures Untold. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Brooklyn. Anything?
Completely agree with Cain and Cody that there are better songs than Little Mermaid, and there are also better, like, I Want songs, or better songs with the same sort of theme.
I agree.
Vanellope and Ralph Breaks the Internet's better.
I agree there are better ones, but I like this one a lot.
Okay.
That's
Here is the one that may make me blow a gasket. Go ahead, buddy.
My number 6 is A Whole New World from Aladdin.
Anyone else?
Y'all didn't put it on the list? What? Okay. A Whole New World is one of the definitive classic Disney songs for a reason. It's a really beautiful love song and a beautiful duet. It's overplayed. I understand it. It's overplayed. It's beat to death. I still love it. I still look at the musicality and the lyricality. That's not even a word, but whatever. And the lyricism of the song.
There you go.
And thank you. I'm getting there. And the lyricism of the song, and appreciate it and enjoy it for what it is. It's 6 because it's overplayed, but I think in 1992 this would have been close to number 1 or number 3, like somewhere in the top 3 when it came out. But because of how much it's been overplayed, it comes in at number 6 for me because it's still a great song. It's just I understand that its legacy has almost overshadowed the song itself.
Well, my biggest problem is there's a duet song. I wouldn't say a full duet song, but a song that shows about love, and that's not on your list. I already know it's not on your list. But with A Whole New World, my biggest problem with A Whole New World is I actually liked it more in the 2019 version of Aladdin, because I think the visual effects and the like showing of it, I think that's what that song is. It's show me the world, sing this beautiful note to each other that really means nothing at the end of the song. Like, it doesn't, like, they don't go anywhere. They go right back. Show a whole new world that ends up in the same exact location that they ended with, and he goes in the water and starts drowning. They should have just took their life and went somewhere else. Like, that's where that song, it could have ended the movie. I think it's a very cheesy duet. I think that's literally what they needed to do after following, like, different, like, with Beauty and the Beast, they needed a song like that to go along, and that's what they wrote, and that's what they came up with. I also think there's like Prince Ali, I think is way better song on that list. I just, One Jump is better for me. I won't touch about the other ones because it's up there for people, but yeah, I just disagree all around for this duet. I think it's an overplayed. I think it's just mushy to be mushy. Cain, Brooklyn, real quick, what do you guys think about Whole New World?
So, people know how I feel about Shallow. I think it's incredibly overrated and overplayed. A Whole New World. A Whole New World is like the junior version of Shallow. It's not. It's overrated. It's very like straightforward, traditional musical shit. Music, like chord progression, does predictable things. It goes the routes that it wants to go. Very Broadway sort of musical-esque. And it's like the vocal performances are good in it, but it just doesn't really wow me like others do.
Okay, again, not even a topic on it, and you have to bring up Shallows, you uncultured swine. Cain.
I just think the song's kind of basic in a movie of just fantastic songs. This is just very basic. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I pretty much a basic. Aladdin is summed up by 2 characters, and it's not the 2 leads. Like they play crucial parts. You believe in their story. You want them to do well, but it's based on the goody side and the evil side. It's Jafar and it's Genie. And those 2 are the chess pieces between the both of them. It's basically how the movie breaks down. Not saying I don't love it. I just think that they get outshined over and over by those two star-studded characters. That's why I didn't like 2019's. But the overall viewpoint is A Whole New World is yikes for me. Go to your next one.
My number 5 is based completely on personal preference and personal taste, and it's Gaston from Beauty and the Beast.
Anybody?
Nope. Okay. I understand why it wouldn't be on lists, and I understand why different songs of Beauty and the Beast would be on lists. When it comes to Beauty and the Beast, tip for me, the song that I listen to, that I sing along to, that I love the absolute most from it is Gaston. I think it is so fun. It's so energetic. It's this fun bar melody, sort of like no one da 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 da, and it speeds up and it goes into this pendulum flow. And I really just kind of enjoy the fun that comes with it because Gaston's the villain, and it totally sums up who he is. He's an arrogant prick that needs his ego inflated by this little dude that hangs out with him. It literally sums up the character by showing you, and the song is supposed to be like, oh, we're telling you who Gaston is. They're not telling you anything about Gaston. They're showing you who Gaston is by having them sing about what Gaston wants to hear right now. And I think that's pretty fun and great and kind of ingenious for a villain song, especially with a character like Gaston, because there's not a lot of Disney villains that are as dumb and unmenacing as Gaston, yet still entertaining to watch like Gaston.
I think you are like hitting the B and C side of like the bottom tier of the movies here. Like we went to Part of Your World from Little Mermaid. You hit probably the 4th best song on that one. You picked A Whole New World, probably the 4th best song on that one. You picked Gaston, which is probably 4th, maybe 3rd best song in that movie. So it's fine. I actually don't hate the choice. I think it's a little high up for Gaston. But I overall I like the choice. It's just. It's just a weird choice. He is a dumb villain. I think that the live version actually kind of hurt the song a little bit more because I love just how cheesy and crazy the original. I think the animation plays way more into the song than just listening to it by myself. Because when like every last intro he's covered in hair and like he rips his chest and then he's eating all the eggs and he's kicking LeFou around the bar. Those are funny moments, like that. That's why I like it. I just don't know if it's top 5, but I knew with having you on the panel, you would have this on your list, and I knew you would have it high. So, Cain, Brooklyn.
So Cain will probably understand what I'm about to say. So Caleb, that back and forth that you're talking about, that's called 6/8. That's what the music is written in. 6 beats in a bar, and for every note it's an eighth. It's the way we count it in music is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. You have to give emphasis on beats 1 and 4. That's why you hear like the tuba and the low brass, you hear those low notes on beat 1, and then it's the upper ones on 2, 3, and 5, 6.
The musical side of Caleb's about to snap on you. This is awesome.
Yeah, I like that. I like that sort of beat to it, but it's kind of just repetitive. It's I want a little bit of a change, like a bridge, and then go back to that. And I think when you go back to that, then it feels a little more, little more sensical, I guess would be the word.
Did you get your lesson from musical, how to do music?
Cody, you can't see the chat that I typed in the group inside the hangout from Brooklyn and Cain side. So that's what I mean. That's how that felt. Yeah.
Okay. Cain, dang it, I wish I could see it. Cain, Gaston.
I just don't like Gaston. And then to have a whole song dedicated to him, talking about how great he is, just... No, it'd be like having it'd be like an entire song about Caleb talking about how great he is.
That exists.
No one loses in trivia like Caleb.
Oh, rough. Okay. Somebody send me what you put, and the next song, please bring it up and why.
My number 4 is "Circle of Life" from The Lion King.
That's a yikes.
You disrespectful piece of shit. 4. How dare you, damn it. Okay. We are going to Cain. Cain, give us your number 7.
My number 7 is "I See the Lights" by Entangled.
Yeah, it's a fucking yikes still.
All right, my number 6 is, in my opinion, the most fun song in Beauty and the Beast, "Be Our Guest."
Anybody else? Uncultured swine. Go ahead. Tell me.
This song with Lumiere, it's so good. This is the song it counters Gaston a lot when you think about it, because both characters are very charismatic. I think this is the good side version of it, if that makes any sense, and it's just very welcoming, and it's just Lumiere having such a fun time with it, and it's just overall just a fun Disney song that's iconic and catchy and everything about it. And I think where I put it is it deserves to be on the list, in my opinion. I think it's my favorite song from Beauty and the Beast, and it's just a fun time. And I don't know, it's just, I don't have a big 100% a reason why, but I just have such a fun time with it.
I think "Be Our Guest" is just a brilliant song. Takes serving, takes what these characters feel, because all they're meant to do is serve. And kind of the whole thing is, the part is life is so unnerving for a servant who's not serving. And they do this whole thing with Clogs where it's just getting the salt dumped on him. It's and then they do the whole song. I think I think all the characters play such a big part in this song, and kind of sets up the world that they're living in, kind of explains it to Belle, and to get her to understand what's actually going. She wants to, basically, she doesn't stay for Beast. She stays because there's flipping talking silverware and stuff, and puts on shows and cooks a bunch of shit. That's awesome. I think the song is brilliant. I think Lumiere does a brilliant performance in this. I've also loved every stage performance of "Be Our Guest" that I've seen. I've seen it live a couple times, and it's just brilliant to see the whole candlestick.
Did you like Ewan McGregor's performance?
I didn't mind it. I just don't think I have a problem with live action Disney putting stars in it for musical, for selling purposes, not for music talent. Because that's why I think you can get that away with animation, because they're hidden behind something. They don't have to sell a movie. The character development does. That's why Les Miserables, putting Russell Crowe as that was just to sell the movie, when they could have put some Broadway actor that would have been a brilliant job and made that role insane, but they did it because it's Russell Crowe. So, I think Ewan was not a bad choice. I just don't think he was the Lumiere I wanted, I think.
He didn't bring anything special to it.
No, I didn't bring anything special. Didn't go over the top that I wanted. I actually like Ian McKellen's Cogsworth a little bit better than, which shouldn't have happened. It should have been vice versa. I should have hated. I thought that same with Emma Thompson's Mrs. Potts. I think Mrs. Potts by Angela Lansbury is brilliant in that first one. Brilliant. I think her singing in Beauty and the Beast is better. All that. So, not touching on that. I don't mind the Beauty and the Beast live action. It's so hard to not pop the original in when I own it. Brooklyn, Kaleb, you guys did not have "Be Our Guest." You actually had a different song, so why not "Be Our Guest"? Both of you.
Kaleb.
I like "Be Our Guest." It's actually an honorable mention. It'd be 13 or 12. It's my second or third favorite song from Beauty and the Beast. It's just me personally. I enjoy Gaston more. I like villain songs, and I like how stupid that song is and how fun it is. A car ride of people singing Gaston is kind of fun. But "Be Our Guest" is really great. It just doesn't make my list because I didn't want to put too many of one movie on the list, I guess.
Fair, Brooklyn.
Yeah, I tried to balance out my happy songs and more serious sort of heart emotional songs. And this one was just sort of sigh. I think for me it's Lumiere's accent is almost a little bit too thick, and I think it's sort of that's what sort of sticks out. I like the other performances, but I think it's that sort of doesn't have it on the list. Definitely understand why. Probably my favorite Beauty and Beast song. But yeah, once again, I think there's better.
I guess we will let it.
I will let it. Single Beauty and the Beast song on.
Also, we'll let it out of the bag. He does not have any Beauty and the Beast on the
That's disgusting.
It really is.
It has 0 beating reviews.
Now, how many Tarzan does he have? Let's take that.
We'll talk about that later. All right, so what's your next one, Cain?
My number 5 is my favorite song from Hercules. A sucker for montage songs, and Zero to Hero is just great. They don't have it.
Don't have it, but I agree with you.
What the fuck?
You picked this panel, bro.
Zero to Hero is such a good song. It is. I don't want to say it's the best montage song because I have one later on that I think is the best, but it's definitely the best song in Hercules. This is just. It is. I'm a sucker for montage songs because it's literally it always leaves you like fun and you feel accomplished after it. And this is just so good. The music's phenomenal in this movie, and I think this is the best song that they're in. I think A Star Is Born is also pretty fun, but it just didn't make my list. And I figured if I had to pick one song from Hercules, it's definitely going to be Zero to Hero.
I think Hercules did something very interesting by making them use like gospel singers. I think
I don't know why Alan Menken decided to do that, but it was fantastic.
They could have made like something totally different with this. Like I think of the sketch that was left on the floor. With like not the muses being soulful, like I think that would have been a travesty. Zero to Hero is like I'm with you with montage songs. When you said you had one higher, I had to look and like, oh yeah, you're correct. But like, it's insane how the song goes, and like you see Herc kind of grow through it with the songs, and like how each muse is just there to like pretty much move the story along, but they all have different characters. And you feel those characters, how they sing and how they interact with each other and how they feel about Hercules, which I think is very interesting. Zero Hero is the correct choice on this. I think if not, it's I Won't Say I'm in Love from Meg's song. I think that's a very I think the music in Hercules is a very unique choice. It doesn't follow the same through line throughout. It like has different ways that they could have went. Like Phil's song is unique to it. Go the Distance. I Won't Say I'm in Love. Then you got the Soulful Muse. I think it's just a fun soundtrack that they just had a blast making. I think it's just how it breaks.
For a film that was made in the 90s, you would expect like if you just listen to the songs for this to be like maybe like the 60s or 70s, like really like when Motown was like super popular. Yeah. And it's like no, this was the 90s. Like Motown was kind of gone.
And to take a Motown vibe to it and put it on in like mythology like that is a very bold and interesting choice, and I think it's very paid off. I think Hercules is one of those Disney movies that are getting better with age. Like everybody's now finding them like, oh my gosh, this movie. Like it's kind of one that I want live action. Like this is one that I'm gonna be like, okay, if I see like a live action. Yes, there's so many Hercules, but I want the music. I want the characters. I want the special effects on Hades. Like those would be cool. Just because it hasn't got the love that it honestly deserves. Brooklyn Kaleb, Zero to Hero. Not a fan, didn't like it, just not make your list, overthought it, what?
I think they sort of like oversold the song. It's almost overperformed in a way. I completely understand that when I'm in a minority whenever I say this. The gospel singers just don't really do it for me. I think the best usage of them is actually the end song, which I can't actually remember the name off the top of my head. I would say that's probably the best uses of them. But yeah, I just think it's to sort of base it. It's just overselling and overperforming.
I think Zero to Hero is the best song in Hercules. I love the song. It's probably number 11 on my honorable mentions. I decided to go with Colors of the Wind over Zero to Hero, and that's mainly because I like the song Colors of the Wind more, and I think it deserves a little bit of recognition, and that's why I put that at 10. But I love Hercules. I love Zero to Hero. It's just I didn't quite make my list, but I love it.
Ooh, okay. Colors of the Wind better than Zero to Hero. Disagree with you there, buddy, but that's fine. Your next one. Give it to
number 4. My number 4, 100%, like the most personal choice on this entire list. I don't expect others to have this one.
Say it,
but it's You're Welcome.
Yeah, damn it! It doesn't make my list, but I knew it was going to be on yours.
It's Brooklyn.
Okay.
This is about rap. Of course, Brooklyn doesn't have it. Go ahead.
So, okay. Your like backstory, because the whole reason why this here is I'm leaving for Disney, okay? Before my interview, I had to like be ready for a half hour. I played the Dwayne Johnson and the Lin-Manuel Miranda version on repeat before my interview because I needed something Disney and something fun, and this was the song. So like personally, like I thank this song for like getting me into Disney, and this is just straight personal. I love this song, and it's just great. I think it's just the best song in Moana, in my opinion, and it's so fun, and it got robbed at the Oscars.
I see what's happening here. Okay. You're face to face with the hard choice.
Also, like the animation for like a movie in 2016 to like also go back to like 2D animation at moments was kind of cool, and it's fun.
Listen, I can go on and on again. Listen. I like the song a lot because I like Hamilton, and You're Welcome is filled with things from Hamilton. Like it's basically plucked out of like most of his like arrangements. This is a 9 or 10 if you're going to include it because I knew this was going to be on there because of your love for Moana. So I'm giving you a slight pass on it, but How Far I'll Go is better than You're Welcome by a large margin, my friend. But again, I've said this before. Disney is a personal choice for a lot of people. Disney is the one through line for a lot of people in life that you can kind of see. You can kind of almost say when you saw your first Disney movie, your favorite Disney movies, what you want to show your kids. Disney is that through line. That's why they're so powerful for so long. And this, I 100%. When you have a future family, I can see Moana being that movie that you want to show and have that reaction. Honestly, wait until they're at a good age because showing them Lion King only ends up in heartbreak and regret. But make sure they're at the right age at the appropriate time. But yeah, You're Welcome is an interesting choice. I just think Dwayne Johnson. I honestly like the one that played in the credits.
The one with Lin-Manuel.
And Jordan Fisher.
I like that better, but again, I wouldn't have almost counted it because I want to kind of tie it to what's in the movie. So, fair enough. You guys, You're Welcome. Knew 100% it wouldn't make Brooklyn's list, but Koho. Lynn's your boy.
Lynn's my boy. Lynn's my god.
Of him in your house.
Lynn, my shirt says my thoughts have been replaced by Hamilton lyrics. That's the shirt I'm wearing right now. Lynn is my boy. You're Welcome is great. I don't love The Rock's version of it because The Rock can't necessarily sing or rap very well, but it works. It works. I love the song. It's my second favorite song from the movie. How Far I'll Go is much better. It is a better song, just in lyricism and how it's constructed. But You're Welcome is a great second place. I thought you were gonna say Shiny because I know how much you love Shiny.
I don't. Really.
Oh, I thought you liked Shiny. Oh, never mind then. But it would be an honorable mention. But I'm with Cody. I like the Lin-Manuel Miranda Jordan Fisher version better than the movie version. So yeah.
Okay, fair. Brooklyn, just nah.
One word. Meh.
Okay. Fuck yourself.
All right. Well, that's perfect. Meh, because you get to transition right into your next one.
All right. So, number 7, I can almost guarantee is probably the oldest song on this list. From Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, it's Hi Ho.
Hi Ho. Hi Ho.
Fucking yikes. Please tell me why the fuck this made your list.
Hi Ho. Well, you think about like songs during that time and like around 1800s, like, you know, like war was very, very prominent, and you think about like marches and stuff, and they take that march concept and apply it to a Disney song, and it works. It's still relevant today. People, as soon as you hear Hi Ho, and even Cain did it himself, he's instantly Hi Ho, Hi Ho. It's home from work we go, and I think it's the layers that they add and the different like sort of the what they add to it. I think like the whistling as like a little sort of a counter melody is really fun. What? Why you laugh?
I just love that you said, you know what adds a lot to the song?
I think the whistling. I think the whistling does.
Out of my face.
I want to talk to
let
them.
somebody talk about. You are out of your effing mind. You don't even have no. Hi Ho is terrible. Terrible. Not for the simple fact that it's a bad song. This came out in 1937. To say that 10 songs haven't passed it is insulting to Alan Menken, to Tim Rice and Elton John, to Beauty and the Flippin' Beast, you bastard.
Howard
How do you-
Ashman is rolling over in his grave.
Like, you're literally sat there just for the next one, you're like, meh, but you say hi ho? Hi ho? Get off to work, you go. Get off my freaking. This is insane. Anybody, I'm gonna cut this. This one's terrible. Go.
Look, Hi Ho's a fun melody for about 10 seconds. And then it goes on to 2 or 3 minutes worth of blow my goddamn brains out because we do the same 8 words over and over and over for 3 or 4 minutes. Sure, the animation in the 30s is cool with that song, but come on. That just like Cody said, that's disrespectful to Elton John, Tim Rice, some Steven Schwartz, Howard Ashman, Alan Menken, Lynn goddamn Manuel Miranda.
You swear to fuck I put this at like number 2 or number 3. It's like
it shouldn't be in the 10.
You put it over. You put Go the Distance and I See the Light below Hi Ho.
And that's disgusting. Arabian Nights below Hi Ho is disgusting.
Okay, so next one.
You're gonna let Cain talk about Hi Ho and why he hates it?
Sorry, buddy.
One word. Meh.
Nailed it.
That's how you get. That's called being teed up, right there. That's a straight uppercut to the jaw.
All right. So the next one is probably the most personal choice on here. We're gonna go. It actually translates to "it means no worries for the rest of your days." So that is Hakuna Matata from Lion King.
Nope.
Just a super. It's a super fun upbeat song. I think what they do towards the end, where they have the vocals come in, and they have him like walking Simba Timon and Pumbaa walking over the log. You see them grow, and then it's like Hakuna Matata, Timon and Pumbaa, and then it's like stop, and then they have him sort of do the pickup, and then they bring in the rest of the music. I think that payoff is really cool, and just how it sort of gives a bit of a refresher to the song itself. Because in theory, this song could be really like bland and generic and just added on to the rest of the soundtrack. But I think it's a very fun one. It's a very nostalgic choice. Lion King is one of the first Disney movies that I remember seeing, and it's just one that's stuck with me ever since.
Well, I will rarely say anything bad about The Lion King. I think it is the best movie ever made. I love this movie throughout. The one problem I have with this movie, and that's maybe overplayed, is Hakuna Matata. I think Hakuna Matata is a very overplayed, basic, just fun song to have fun song. It's kind of to get Simba off of his deathbed because he's broke down. But you've already said that it's a yikes for Circle of Life is on your list higher, but for basically like no other song to make it from your list, because I can kind of say that is just surprising to me on that note, because I think when you say fun upbeat song, I think I Just Can't Wait to Be King fills that void right there for upbeat song. I think the main problem I think the coolest part is that Walk Across the Log. It's the most iconic part, one of the most iconic parts of Lion King, and it's no singing. Like no singing at all. It's literally just the beautiful music playing. Again, it's just the problem I have is because I never go pop it on in the car, because in the movie there's a big wall between Hakuna Matata, because it's literally the Bug Eating scene talking about slimy yet satisfying. Like that's a really cool part for me. It's just it doesn't feature those. So yeah, Hakuna Matata is the lowest song on Lion King for me. But again, personal. You get kind of a pass with that. Cain, Kaleb, Hakuna Matata.
Cain, you want to say your thing first?
I was gonna say I like montage songs, but like This one's kind of just okay. It's definitely a montage song, but it's a montage song where I feel like I've missed a lot of what happened. If that makes sense.
That's fair.
Brooklyn, I'm gonna sit you down, explain to you how lyricism works. You see, lyricism is about progression of themes and ideas through complex rhyme schemes. You see, you use longer words or shorter words, and what you do is you put them in a way that you can listen to them over and over again. However, they actually have meaning to the words and power to them. This is what we call simple, basic, and exactly what you said, bland. It's got great music, but the lyrics of Hakuna Matata is the equivalent of a top 40 pop song. There's no substance to Hakuna Matata.
This is also not the greatest song in the key of C. I'll put that up there.
Welcome back to mansplaining on Your List Sucks.
Thank you for stealing my joke.
You didn't use it. You had your perfect opportunity to issue it there. I'm going to just say it because we've had 2 episodes of mansplaining now. But here we go. Your next one.
All right. I guarantee you this is on nobody else's list, but I will die on this if I have to. Number 4 is Strangers Like Me from Tarzan.
Wait, 5, right? 4.
Oh, sorry. No. Sorry. 5. 5 is a yikes from earlier. How far I'll go.
That's still a fucking yikes.
That's still a yikes?
Still
All right. Well, then, I guess we're going back to Strangers Like Me from Tarzan.
Nope. I like this one.
Anybody else?
I don't understand why. Well, the movie I kind of understand why, but the soundtrack, you guys are fucking high. Strangers Like Me is something where you could easily map out the chord progression. You could. It's in B flat, so you like typically in B flat songs you hear E flat, F, you hear C, you hear some G minors, but what they do with this song is they change up the chord progression. They do some different things. They do slight key changes where it keeps it refreshing, it keeps it invigorating, and I think there's just the right amount of like Phil Collins 80s sort of Genesis-esque stuff in here that it works without it being like sort of campy and it's satirical in a way. And I think it's a really good song. It's a good vocal performance, but yeah.
Yeah, Tarzan. If this was movies, it wouldn't be the top 50 because that movie is a soundtrack only. Story is blah. But Phil Collins does a great job with the soundtrack. I've always given Tarzan a lower grade on all of it because he plays no character in the movie. Yeah, he sings every song. It's kind of an egotistical move for me in my eyes. I think Phil Collins is one of the greatest vocalists of all time. I think his voice is so iconic. I think he does so many great songs. I just have the huge problem of him just singing every song. Just it's kind of like a built-in, just like here's this next song. I think "Son of Man" is a better song. That's just personal than "Strangers Like Me." That's why I wouldn't. But I think anything from Tarzan deserves the bottom 6 for me. That's just personal. If I want to listen to Phil Collins, I'll go to listen to any of his actual music instead of songs he did for Disney. Kaleb, Cain, Strangers Like Me.
I'll say right now, I had a hard time even including Tarzan, not because the music's not good, because the music really doesn't play any role in the movie. It's just kind of it's a soundtrack that kind of underscores things that are happening. So I had a hard time including it. I like Strangers Like Me. I like Son of Man. It's a good soundtrack. I had a hard time including it.
Sir, Cain?
Son of Man is my favorite song from Tarzan. I think Tarzan has great songs. But it's like, when I rewatched Tarzan recently, I realized that Phil Collins is the narrator of the film. And it's kind of weird to have someone narrating a song when it's not a musical. And it just if we're talking the best Disney songs for me personally, I think there's other ones that speak that are proper Disney songs, while Phil Collins' Tarzan is a great song, but it doesn't feel Disney, if that makes any sense.
Does. Fully does. Okay, so we have reached to the fun part. The top 3 is here, everybody. The top 3 is here. Kaleb, give us your number 3.
It's time to answer one of my two yikes. I See the Light from Tangled is my number 3. It is a beautiful love duet. Like, that sort of realization of, like, now you're falling in love with each other in that, like, one romantic moment that you needed. It's a really beautiful song between the two. At last I see the light, at last the fog is lifted is just, I love that part. And the build that comes at the end when they finally start singing in harmony. It's a great song, and it's one that I go back to a lot. I think it's one of the most beautiful Disney songs ever written.
Yeah, Tangled is one of those. I've said it before. I think it's the one. I think it's the best Disney song of the 2000s. Just pure Disney for me. I think it's brilliant. I think it does not get enough credit. It is literally to thank for all the Disney we're getting right now. And I'm not saying that gives it any more hype, but like, just think about it. This movie cost like $260 million to make.
Because they redid it.
Because it's insane of how much like the technology. Frozen comes off this. Moana comes off this. Zootopia comes off this. There's so much that sparks it and runs with it. I personally, I love I See the Light, but I think there are 2 songs that are better in this movie. Just from my personal stance, and I understand that's a lot of people's different opinion. I've Got a Dream is a super fun and catchy song. I think it's one of the most underrated, like, middle songs, like kind of sidekick, but kind of not, like deters from the danger and stuff songs, and it's so much fun, especially those characters like Brad Garrett and like all these like like wants to be a concert pianist. He has a hook for a hand. Like, it's just, there's so much fun. And then Mother Knows Best. I think Mother Knows Best is like as a villain song after you knowing her story is terrifying, because she's just like pretty much puts it out there that she knows best, and like she ends that song with such a scary line like, Rapunzel, don't ever ask to leave this tower again. And
I think even the reprisal to like that song when it's like Rapunzel knows best. Blah 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 blah.
Yes.
Yeah. It just, I think that's an underrated villain in the 2010s. I think she's so good and terrifying because yes, she's got the I got a plan, but I will agree with you. I think Flynn Rider is also one of those characters that is super underrated in Disney lore because he literally cares about himself, and that's in every Disney movie. But you see, like, and the payoff is beautiful when that shot of the lanterns and like them singing is just beautiful. It's just beautiful. Cain, Brooklyn, you both had this on your list. You both have this. You just had it lower. Explain why it doesn't rank as high for you, and what you think of the song.
I think if we did this list like a year later, it would probably be higher. This is a film / soundtrack that I revisited for this one, and it grabs you right out of the gate. I think Mandy Moore's performance in it is really good, and I didn't realize how well Mandy Moore and Zachary Levi blend together. I just think it's easily one of the best duets of Disney's realm. And it's just how they pack so much emotion into such a sort of a minimalist performance. Like, you don't really get a lot of accompaniment other than some strings, and like not a lot of like percussive or horns. But I think it's that approach that works and grabs you right out of the gate.
Fair enough. Cain?
I think even to kind of like piggyback on what Brooklyn just said, how you don't get a lot of accompaniment without like instruments and stuff, it kind of makes sense in the scene because personally, this is like my favorite scene in all of Disney. Like, it is so beautifully animated, and for like the lack of accompaniment, it kind of makes sense because in the scene they're the only ones out on the water and they're by themselves, and it's just kind of quiet, and the only thing you're really hearing is them. And I think it's just a phenomenal scene, and I think there's maybe one song, like one duet song that's better than this one, and that's probably why I was a little bit lower. And for me personally, that this is a phenomenal song, phenomenal sing, and it's just so good. I have no complaints. I'm actually surprised Koho has it this high. So like, I didn't expect it from him.
Yeah. Cain, give us your 3.
My number 3 is the best montage song in all of Disney, and it's Make a Man Out of You.
No one has it.
What the fuck? Fuck, this is supposed to be a yikes. This was supposed to be a yikes at 3. Or we all agree. This is the best montage song. This is the best song in Mulan. This is just. I don't know what to say at this point because I'm just shocked.
To help you, there's no other songs from Mulan on any of their guys' list, so they have nothing else.
Oh my God.
You're the sole representation of Mulan.
What the fuck? Can we restart and just get new panelists? Can I get Paul Oyama and like maybe Lucas or something like that? Make a man out of you, though. Okay, to kind of like go back to like, I'm a sucker for montage songs. I think this is by far the best montage song in all of Disney. You literally see Mulan going from being this terrible soldier to being phenomenal, and the whole team building. And over the course of this song, she makes friends, and it's just I don't know what to say, Cody. I don't.
Yeah. So when you came up with the idea, I made a list, and in my 3 spot was "Make a Man Out of You." "Make a Man Out of You" is like a brilliant song for me. I'm gonna be a sucker for montages too. I just think overall, like, it's so much fun throughout the movie, but it also plays so well in a car. I love doing that. I'm a sucker for voices. So like the bouncing back and forth between the characters, like I really wish that I knew how to swim.
This is also
skipping gym.
I'm so surprised. Like this is one of those songs that whenever it's played, everyone is singing to it because
you like those beats in there, like must be scripted. And then when the music cuts out and like you hear that song, it's so good. Like, I've never liked Donny Osmond as more than this moment right here. So, Kaleb and Brooklyn, you're on trial. Tell us why you're racist. No,
I like the song. I like the song a lot. I don't like the movie. I don't like Mulan. I don't like the soundtrack to Mulan, but I like this song. However, it's kind of a meme, and a part of it. You're not wrong. A part of it comes from House Night Fury making it its anthem, and that hurts it for me.
So you're telling me if Nico has never existed or had no association with the song, it might have made your list?
Probably. Not even shitting you right now.
Nico, I hate you right now.
Not even shitting you. Like, I like the song. It's just I don't have it in my top 10 because it's kind of a meme to me.
Brooklyn.
It's surprising considering how much Cody loves this song. I didn't drink the Kool-Aid for this film whenever I was growing up. It could also be that I'm just just a little bit older than Cain. Probably missed that age demographic that they were looking for kids. I never really attached to it. The song is good, not great. It takes a little bit to get into it. But teach their own.
Yeah, you're right. Hi-ho. Oof, brilliant. Yeah, the age gap, too. What a great cop-out that one is. I'm just a young chicken over here, just hates. Man, if it was you're welcome, I would have been all on board. No. Okay, so we're going to go to your 8. Your 3, Brooklyn. Sorry, we're not jumping back to hi-ho.
So this was one that was actually mentioned earlier, and I'm surprised it hasn't been mentioned since. It's Bare Necessities from The Jungle Book.
Nope.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Don't get me wrong, I love the song though.
So this is one that I really enjoy from a musical standpoint that just gets elevated with the vocal performance and that subtle baritone because you think about like all the different elements, the different element of it, like the muted trumpet, very high pitched, the clarinet solo at the beginning is so soothing and just like it sort of like relaxes you for it. And you think about jazz, it's such a weird thing where it's like it's upbeat, but it can be very very soothing and very very relaxing. And I think it hits all the notes, and I think it's as a musician, it's super fun to play. It's one where you sort of get everyone sort of gets a moment to shine. But yeah, Cody's having an aneurysm over there.
His facial reaction during this entire part was so funny. My only viewpoint is if you're gonna have a Jungle Book, I think if you're going to go all out, I think I Want to Be Like You would take that spot for me personally.
That's
Bare
fair.
Necessity is fun. Bare Necessity is a good song, but it's kind of like exposition song. It's just kind of like, this is what we do, and this is what you gotta do, and like there's fun moments of it. It just doesn't like. Jungle Book has the main problem of like there's a lot of like instrumental breaks and it's fine, but on a song like I want to continue singing, so it doesn't have that replay value for me a lot, and there's a lot of talking in that song because Mowgli ruins everything. Basically, when there's sound breaks in I Want to Be Like You, it's kind of like that, like it's about to kick back in. So
yeah,
that's only my viewpoint. I'll wait for Cain because I know Cain likes the song, so there's probably not much hate maybe for a little too high or not having another one on there. But Kaleb, you were almost, your eye rolling, you're about to vomit. Tell me, is Bare Necessities at 3 an insult, or is he crazy?
To me, this is kind of like putting Hi Ho on your list. It's not as bad because.
Are you fucking kidding me?
It's not as bad because at least Jungle Book is good. But like Bare Necessities is a good song. Again, I just don't connect to the Jungle Book, and having it this high, like as a legitimate, like legitimately putting it in the top 3 makes me, again, it's favoring classic stuff over like good music, like the Alan Menken stuff to me. So that's all.
Okay. A lot of insulting. Kaleb, you get to fill out another yikes. Go ahead.
Wow, I'm gonna talk on.
Yeah, Cain, we get to talk.
Sorry, Cain. Cain, I know you're gonna love this movie. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think it's very easy to say. I'm in this community. I'm probably the person who likes the Jungle Book the most, or something like that. And I think Bare Necessities is Hakuna Matata before Hakuna Matata. It is. They kind of had.
Perfect.
I mean, they kind of had the same like story and meaning in the song. It's just a fun song, but at the end of the day, this song is not the greatest in a sense. It's definitely in my honorable mentions, that's for sure. But that's mainly because I just have a strong connection with the movie, and I think it's a fun song. But I think I Want to Be Like You is just the better song in that movie.
Fair. Now, Kaleb, you get to finish out one of your.
All right, this was the other fucking yikes that it's time to bring up. How Far I'll Go is my number 2. How Far I'll Go, I think, is Disney's best I Want song. Yes, I'm on brand by keeping Lin super high in regard, and I think that's because Lin is one of the greatest songwriters of all time, rap or otherwise. He constructs a really great ballad. Like the actual composition of how the song evolves thematically from start to finish, her journey through this song, how it clearly defines what she wants out of life and how she can't have it yet, but she wants it so badly to just go beyond the seawall and keep going and keep exploring and get her people back to what they were. I think How Far I'll Go should have beat La La Land for best original song.
Can you say that louder?
And that's high praise for me. How Far I'll Go should have beat City of Stars for best original song at the Oscars.
Okay.
That's high praise because La La Land's my favorite movie.
How Far I'll Go is very interesting. I love it. I just think it's a little too soon. Not saying that it's not going to hold the test. It probably will. I just think there are better Disney songs. After looking at your list, there's some notable omissions. But yeah, How Far I'll Go is one of those songs that really took me by surprise. When I saw the movie, I'm like, whoa. Like, that's an I Want You song that I totally stand by because it's not, like, selfish. Like, it's kind of selfish, but at the end of the day, like, why can't I go beyond that? Like, why is my limitation? Why are you limiting me this when it's basically instead of, like, I want to meet this boy and fall in love. No, I want to just go. Why can't I be the fisherman? Why can't I enjoy the water? I think it's very cool. I think her singing performance, first movie, stuff like that, insane of a casting choice. I think she does a great job as the character of Moana, and her singing is on par. I know how Cain feels. I'm going to go to Brooklyn first, though.
So 3 things. 1, my little cousin would kill me if I did not have this song on here. She watches this movie probably 3 times a day.
But she doesn't watch the show.
No. Well, you never know. She could turn into an avid listener. 2, this is the cooler cousin version of Go the Distance. I think what they did in Hercules, they do better in this song in Moana. And for the same reason that I love Strangers Like Me, there's some chord progressions in here that are non-traditional, and it's sort of fit to the song. When you think about how like verse 1 and 2 end, they end with either like it's like an up chord or like a down chord. And it fits with what she's singing, and I like that how they sort of attach the music to the lyrics and what she's singing. So yeah.
All right, King.
So I'm very vocal on Moana being either some days my favorite Disney movie and some days my second favorite movie. And like literally in my notes, I don't know if you can see, but I had How Far I'll Go at number 8, and I literally wrote it's a beautiful ballad, Alihi's Carvalho's voice, and that is just great. And then the fact that this song is literally a story. The song is a story in itself of wanting to go out there and live your dream, and I think it's a beautiful song. I'm gonna be honest. I probably would have had it higher if I didn't have You're Welcome at 4, and I kind of just wanted to space out Moana a little bit more. So maybe that's why it's at 8. I just wanted to space it a little bit. I did not expect Koho to have it at 2.
Should have flipped him.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, we're gonna go to Cain.
So my number 2 is the best love song in Disney. Period. It starts off with these two friends out there like panicking that they're like worried, and it's Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Please tell me someone has this.
Nope.
It took a lot to not have it on this list.
I'm straight up vocal about how much I don't like this song.
I quote this song at least once a week, but it.
But you have high ho. You have high ho.
I felt bad having more than 2.
High ho.
Go on.
So, Can You Feel the Love Tonight is by far the best love song in all of Disney, in my opinion. I think it's the best song in The Lion King. And then the fact that like it starts and ends with Timon and Pumbaa, and you get this whole story of like Nala and Simba, and I can go on and on, but I feel like I can't do it as justice as Cody. And I know Cody's going to want to talk about it, so I'm just going to send it right to Cody.
Yeah, this is almost an insult to not have this song on here. For me, you can take 2 different versions. You can take the Elton John if you wanted to, but I think in the movie, the characters that sing about it is the true moment of it all. Like pretty much Timon and Pumbaa. Again, we don't know how much time has passed, but a good amount of time has passed pretty much between, Simba leaving Pride Rock and joining up, and like me and my wife walked down the aisle to like Can You Feel the Love Tonight. This was her walkout song, so it has a way more impression on me than most songs. But for pretty much Timon and Pumbaa says, if our carefree days with us are over, ensure our pal is doomed because he is. He's leaving, and like that line when they're looking at it across each other, and it's just like he's holding back, he's hiding from what I can't decide. Why won't he be the king I know he is, the king I see inside? And like, and Simba fighting with, if he tells her this story that he's believed his entire life, that he killed his father, how will she look at him? How will his mother look at him? He can't go back to the life because he caused all this stuff to happen in the first place. So it's this beautiful thing, and like where they come together and they finally see each other for who they are and the love, and just the song kills me every time. It's always close to me. There's 4 songs from Lion King that I think are top 4 for me all the time, and they do this constantly. It's just an overall rolling tumble. I can't tell you on any given day, but like how I'm feeling today, Can You Feel the Love Tonight would be number 1. It's just a beautiful song overall. It is what I think of when I think of Disney, when I think of emotions, when I think of everything. Brooklyn and Kaleb. Not only does your list suck, but your friendship kind of sucks right now too. Please tell me why A Whole New World and fucking Hi Ho is better than Can You Feel the Love Tonight? By the way, Elton is pissed at both of you. Like he's fucking furious.
1, I did not want this to be a Lion King and Tarzan list, so I just wanted to minimize. I wanted to diversify my list, make sure there's a good number of films.
Bitch. You put two Lion King songs on your list, and one is Hakuna Matata. Stand down, sir. Stand down.
2, there are things in the movie version that I think they do better in a different song. I like the Elton John version. I like the Elton John version better as opposed to the one. I think that single version is arranged a little bit better. But I quote this one at least once a week. But yeah, it was tough to not have it on here.
I'm just vocal about it. I don't like this song. I don't know what it is. I just don't enjoy it. It doesn't connect to me. It's the one song on the soundtrack that I actively skip the most. I don't think it's a bad song. When I hear it on the soundtrack, I just skip it. It's not my thing. I don't know what it is. I don't like this song.
You know what, Caleb? I hope one day that you can feel the love tonight. Okay,
Me too.
I really do.
Me too.
Piece of shit. Okay. Well, I can't say much about Brooklyn. Go ahead with your number 2.
All right, so my number 2 is what I just referred to about 5 seconds ago. I think the song things that they do in Cain McMillan Love Tonight, they do better in this one, and that is Circle of Life from The Lion King. Holy shit, this is probably the best arranged song on the list. I would have paid top dollar to be the conductor whenever they're recording that song, because there are so many gears in it, and it works so well. The vocals, the drums, the woodwinds, the horns, the strings. Like, there's so many things, and I think the gospel elements that you get from like Hercules, they also do better in this. The way that they end the song, having like that traditional gospel thing of like having a sustained chord and then resolving it, going back to that bass, and having that all filled out, getting the bass, the third and the fifth, it goes really well. And I think it's the combination of the vocal arrangement and the accompaniment and then the vocal performance as well. It's incredibly powerful, and it's uplifting and warming, and it just sort of gets you pumped. It still gives me goosebumps to this day listening to it. But I'm curious to hear what my other panelists have to say.
Yeah, Circle of Life. My grandparents tell me the moment. Again, Circle of Life was the trailer to Lion. It literally was the entire opening song, and it would end at doom, Lion. That was all they would do. And every time that came up, I would lose my mind in the theater. My grandma would tell me moments like I would just get excited when it came on. I saw this movie when I was 4. I saw this movie 6 times in the theater while my grandparents wanted to see other movies, but I threw tantrums to see The Lion King. Lion King Circle of Life is brilliant through and through. There's no question about it. I love the song. I love the story behind it. I love that they have it was literally like a rebellion against government lyrics that most they slipped through Disney. And when they were asked what the lyrics mean, and they're like, oh, it means elephants and zebras and stampedes and blah, blah, blah. But it's pretty much a stand down to the government that they were facing in Africa, which I think is brilliant. I think it's a smart choice, and because it was beautifully done. I think the sun rolling high on the sapphire sky, like those lyrics and like how it starts with the music and then the animals and the animation. It is what it is. It's beautiful. And then the holy scene of Simba up at the end. Again, the DVD cover, everything about it. It brings back every feeling. I've watched it so many times. I get goosebumps. I think it's a brilliant song. 2 is fine. I know what your number 1 is, so F you. But that's fair. Caleb had it. Cain didn't. So Cain, why not Circle of Life?
It's okay. I don't want to say it's okay. It's a great song, but it's definitely, I think, a better scene, if that makes any sense.
That makes sense. I'm not disagreeing. I honestly know you didn't have any repeating movies on your list, except Moana, which I expected.
Oh, for me?
Yeah. Yeah, I believe that's right.
Moana, and then I had another one.
Did you? Not that I'm seeing, but either way, it's not a big deal. Which makes sense, because it's fine. I think I see, like I said, Feel the Love Tonight, Circle of Life, bounce back and forth, fine with me both on that. Caleb, you had a little lower beside some other ones, so yeah. What do you think?
I love Circle of Life. I think it's brilliant. I can agree why it's a better scene than a song, but I think that the song itself is still brilliant. Just like you have all hammered it the way better than I can as to why I love it. You've all said everything I would, so like I don't want to like jump on it over and over. But the reason why it's 4 is because the other 3 I just personally I'm attached to more, and I go back to more. I look for different things in these Disney movies and songs, which is why I guess Circle of Life is a little bit lower, but it's still great.
All right, so very interesting. I'm going to actually do something I don't normally do. Brooklyn, give us your number 1.
So, to the surprise of absolutely nobody, it is a Tarzan song. It is sort of, just kidding, it's actually You'll Be in My Heart. The first song from Tarzan. I want to give a shout out.
Number 1, so
it's emotionless fucking monkeys. I want to give a challenge to the other.
No, shut up.
No.
You didn't have Make a Man out of you. You cannot talk.
No. Here's what you're gonna do. I want you to look somebody, whoever you love. So Cody, it's your wife. Cain, it's probably your copy of Moana or one of your fan films. Caleb, it's your stand-in of Lin-Manuel Miranda.
I was gonna say a mirror, but yes.
Yeah, sure. Even worse. I want you to look that person in the eyes. Try to sing this song and not cry. I've tried twice, and I stop at about the first verse because I can't. It's such a beautiful song. It's the best love song. It's not about like romantic sexual love, but paternal love and maternal love. And I think it works really well. You get different things out of either the movie version or the single version. The movie version, I think, encapsulates the atmosphere of the jungle, where you get the marimba, and whenever Phil Collins does his second verse, you get that very rainforest-esque sort of deal. Whereas with the Phil Collins single version, you get the sort of the majestic grandeur of the jungle and what Tarzan is going to be. But man, it packs so much emotion, and it's such a. I don't understand why Son of Man is deemed the best song of the bunch. I think Son of Man is really generic and is one that anybody can really do. But I think this is one that's meant for Glenn Close to sing to a young child, and I think it's one for Phil Collins to do, because I think they can pack the emotion and the power that's needed for some of this.
So this song 6 weeks ago, 2 months ago, didn't mean as much to me anymore. To me, it means a lot more now. I kind of learned that Tarzan's about foster care, and as that's a big chunk of my life now. This song has a real resonance with me. Do I think it's the best Disney song? No. Do I think it's even in the top 10? Probably not. But I think I've learned to respect this movie a little bit more, especially with my circumstances going a little different. But I think it's. I had no shock that this was going to be your number 1. I had no shock going into it. I knew exactly what it was. Caleb thought it was Son of Man. Wrong. It's Glenn Close, and so again, I don't resonate with Tarzan. We've all talked about it before. But Caleb, Cain, what do you think about it?
So, I don't hate Tarzan as much as others. I mean, literally, my 3rd birthday was a Tarzan theme. Fun fact.
Did you wear a loincloth?
No. But yeah.
Hold it in. Okay,
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I like the song. It's a beautiful song, and I'm gonna just level with you. I kind of forgot about it. I just kind of forgot it existed.
Fair.
Would it have made my list anyways? I don't know.
It's very forgettable. No, it's fine. I'm just talking about Caleb.
Same reason why no Tarzan makes my list in general. I like the movie. I like the soundtrack. it's hard to include anything from Tarzan on because the music doesn't impact the story. It just kind of underscores it and kind of in a musical way shoves down your throat what you're watching in the movie anyway, because the movie is so abstract in giving you the concept of what they have to have Phil Collins write exactly what they want you to get from the scene in the song and smash you over the head with it. But I like the music, I like the movie. None of it was going to make my list.
I'm genuinely serious. Try to sing this song with eye contact with the person that you love, and you won't be able to get through it. You'll stop.
You'll be
Sing this song.
heart.
You singing it to Kate right now?
No, I'm singing to Brooklyn. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the reason why I don't know is because two people have the next one as the number one.
Kane, you have to say number one?
Kane.
Yeah.
Talk about what your number one is of all time.
Hey, Kane, can I tee this up for you?
Sure.
Wah, wah, wah. Oh, my. Wah, wah, wah. I ain't never had a friend like me.
So I guess me and Koho are just gonna go back to back on this one. I think this is the quintessential song that's Disney. It's magical. It was legitimately magical. This is Disney. This is just the genie, and this is just 100% just Robin Williams, in my opinion. This is a great song, and I think it is so fantastically done. It just screams Disney, in my opinion, and I love it for it. It's a song that I can never turn off. Whenever I hear it, I have to listen through it the entire thing. I think it's a beautiful song, and I'm taking up all the spotlight, but Kaleb, you can go.
If you've ever, just a quick little shout out to the Broadway version of the song. It's longer, it's fun, and it includes a lot of references, like meta references to other Disney things, because the genie can do that, and it's really fun. So if you ever heard it, listen to it. But we're focusing on the movie. And Robin Williams' Genie is perfect. This song could not be done by anyone else but Robin Williams' Genie. It is, like Kane said, the definition of Disney. It is the magic. It is anything is possible. All your dreams can come true. You've never had a friend like me. And it is lyrically so fun. It's lyrically acrobatic. It's so high flying in the way that this line goes right into this line seamlessly, and the rhyme just lands in your head. It's so well constructed that I can't think of another Disney song that's better than this one.
So you're right. No one can do this song but Robin Williams, and that was proven.
It should have been A Whole New World for the Oscar.
That was proven pretty clear from this year. But my only viewpoint is Robin Williams has always had a special spot in my heart. Again, I like doing voices. I like having things, and that was literally one of my inspirations because he does them so well and so flawlessly all the time. It's so much fun to hear him go through the character and to take a guy that's nowhere near going to be the top vocalist of all time, but puts his spin on it, has so much fun with it. You understand the character through and through, and you have him from that get-go of this is his introduction song, and that's insanity because the song travels. If I included just one song from each movie of my top 10, this would be number 2 for me personally, because I would always put a Lion King song higher. If it was probably including whatever I wanted, I would probably put it 3 because I'd probably put 2 Lion King songs higher. But this song is insane. This song that's why I thought 2019 did a really interesting job with the visual effects. I think visual effects, they win hands down because they had so much fun with it. I just don't think the vocal talents even match close to what Robin Williams is.
Yeah, as someone
you done wound me up.
As someone who's been able to sit back and see the movie as it is, I think the visual effects might be hiding some of the song flaws,
100%,
and which makes the scene better in the live action version. Where if we just listen to the song by itself, it not as good.
It sucks.
But it's almost like watching a fireworks show and not seeing what's happening next to you. You don't hear the person talking because you're watching the visuals, and it looks very cool. That's why I think it sells so much. Because that's when I watched it and I got out of it. I was like, the visuals were amazing in that. They just didn't match the song power. So that's always my problem with that one. But again, I knew this would be your number 1. Both of you guys know how much we've talked about A Friend Like Me. Brooklyn, no Friend Like Me at all on your list.
And you're yelling at us.
That's disgusting. I'm sorry. That's
no Friend Like Me, and I don't think I don't think you had. You had Arabian Nights as your only Aladdin at the very bottom. So why your hate for Aladdin? Just curious.
So why A Friend Like Me is not on my list? You can probably blame High School Band. We played an Aladdin like medley or whatever, and it was Arabian Nights, A Friend Like Me, and A Whole New World. I enjoyed playing Arabian Nights and A Whole New World other than A Friend Like Me. I just kind of got bored with this. I disagree with whatever Cain's like. This is the definition of Disney. I think the definition of Disney is more so those loving songs, the more the ballads and the duets. I think that defines Disney. But to the surprise, I'm getting shocks. But yeah, just one that's probably overplayed, I guess. Just for me, I understand why it attaches so well with the rest of the group, but I think for me it's overplayed, and I just kind of got bored with this after like the 12th time playing it.
Okay, well, this episode ran a little bit longer, but when you get 3 people and you talk about Disney and you include me, it's going to be a long episode. But we're not over by that much. I will go through the personal top 10 list and let you know if your list sucks. So basically, your number 10 is Strangers Like Me. Your number 9, You're Welcome. Number 8, Bare Necessities. Number 7, I'll Make a Man Out of You. Number 6, Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Fuck's sake. Number 5 is You'll Be in My Heart. Number 4 is I'll See the Light. Number 3 is Circle of Life. Your number 2 is How Far I'll Go.
Hell yes.
And your number 1 is Friend Like Me.
Hell yes.
Da-da-da. Wah, wah. So if I had to break down the episode, this is what I'm going to start doing for each day. Your overall list for the show, I give that a total of a C-. There's a lot of E in that list. Pretty much rankings. I don't think I have a problem with the list, but I think the rankings are a little off, and there are some definite don't go anywhere near that. If I had to rank the personal people's list on this order, first place is Cain, the Hurricane McMillan. Number 2 is Kaleb, the King Koho, and Brooklyn. With Hi Ho, you get fucking last. Have a good day. If you like, comment, subscribe, do what you normally do. And if you want to find us online, check the description because we're down there. And see you next week. Bye-bye.